Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Canadian Prairie. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. So we look at temperature trends over the next 10 days. We're going to be seeing a cooling trend as we head into the first week of May. Not a drastic cooling trend or any kind of cold shot, but this unseasonable warmth that we've enjoyed over the last several days in many locations is going to become at least closer to average, if not a little bit cooler than average on occasion. So we look at precipitation over the next 7 days, again, remaining mostly dry across Alberta, though there's some chance for some precipitation as we head into the 4, 5, and 6 day time frame. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And then good news is keeping the snow well off to the north, so even though we bring in a little bit of a cooler air mass, not dropping us unseasonably cold or bringing any disruptive winter weather to the prairie. Temperatures early this morning beginning to warm already nicely across Alberta and Saskatchewan, a little bit cooler across southeastern Saskatchewan into portions of southwestern and central Manitoba this morning, and that is as the storm system makes its way through that area. If we go ahead and take a look at the radar, again, we've got some light precipitation making its way through southern Manitoba, and as we head through the afternoon today, we're going to watch for some showers, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms popping up across portions of Alberta. So let's look at the high-resolution Canadian model here. Heading into the late evening hours, getting into the early overnight, here comes some of the early shower activity, a little more intense as we head into Thursday afternoon and evening. This is where the area of low pressure is now up toward the northern border of Alberta and Saskatchewan, and then across the warm sector, just looking for scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder to develop across Alberta into Saskatchewan, and then eventually over into portions of Manitoba, maybe some light precipitation as we get into Thursday night and Friday morning. A big ridge across the region right now. That is the reason for the warm-up. As we go ahead and put this into motion, again, we'll see the little trough making its way through here late this week. That could bring some precipitation to central and eastern portions of the prairie. Maybe a slight warm-up as we head into the May 2nd and 3rd time frame, but then bringing in deeper troughing once again as we head into the May 4th, 5th, and 6th time frame. So our temperatures, again, warm now. They'll be heading down toward, below average perhaps as you head off toward the east as we get into the weekend. A little shot of cooler air, but holding on to that warm bias here across portions of Alberta. As we take this a little bit further, heading into the beginning of the week, May 4th and 5th, that'll be Monday and Tuesday of next week, looking at a little cool shot across much of the prairie, but then you just take it a few days out further and it gets a little bit cooler as we head even into the May 7th and 8th time frame. So again, as we progress through that first week of May on a cooling trend across the prairie. A little longer range look at the precipitation here across across the Canadian prairie. We'll watch that storm system that emerges overnight tonight, bringing maybe some light shower activity to portions of Alberta today, but really the more significant precipitation begins to develop tomorrow afternoon and evening. And really, we're not talking about much in the way of heavy precipitation until this thing gets a little bit further out. We will get the rain shadow effect here across much of Alberta, and that is why we hold on to that drier bias. Meanwhile, picking up maybe a little more significant precipitation as we head off toward the east across portions of eastern Saskatchewan and southern Manitoba heading into Thursday night and then Friday. This is what it looks like midnight on Friday night, Saturday morning. Starting to get some snow again across northern Manitoba, well north of the prairie, but we do have some cooler air again coming in on the backside. So that is what leads to that weekend cool shot across eastern portions of the prairie. We'll take the drawings off, taking it a little bit deeper into the other side of the weekend, getting into Monday now, and we're watching another area of low pressure emerging across southern Alberta, and this one could bring a little bit more in the way of measurable precipitation. We'll have to check back in with this one on Friday, but again, it brings heavier precipitation as it makes its way east, getting into southern Saskatchewan as we get into the Monday night into Tuesday time frame. So total precipitation across the prairie from the European ensemble model, looking at the total between now and Saturday night. As we get that first storm system out of here, again, the heaviest precipitation well north of the prairie, and then this is where we could pick up some snow across northern Manitoba, but looking at anywhere from a trace to a few millimeters of precipitation in scattered fashion across central and southern Alberta from some of those rain showers over the next 36 hours, and then progressively getting a bit heavier as you head off to the east, anywhere from 5 to 15 millimeters of precipitation possible as you head off toward the east. Now we get our next storm system that comes in here Monday into Tuesday of next week, and that is the one that I'm watching for maybe a better chance of precipitation across central into southeastern portions of Alberta, and maybe even a little bit more here in southern Alberta. And then a potential reinforcing shot of some heavier precipitation across southern portions of Saskatchewan and Manitoba. So In Alberta, it looks dry, mostly dry, if not completely dry in a lot of areas here over the next 4 to 5 days. But as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, maybe a better chance of some precipitation across that area. Winds are not going to be a huge factor. Pretty calm today. It'll be a little bit stronger as we head into Thursday and Friday as the storm system makes its way from west to east across the prairie, perhaps seeing those winds at times gusting 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Look at your high temperatures for the next 10 days. Again, dealing with a little bit of a cooler shot here in Alberta, but holding on to the warmer bias much better off toward the west, keeping those temperatures between 15 and 20 degrees in Calgary, and much the same here in Edmonton. Saskatoon, we get that cool shot a little bit more amplified as you head off toward the east, but again, it's a gradual cooling trend back to about where we should be this time of year. No dramatic, bottom falling out or anything like that. Regina, here's a look at your next 10 days, and then same thing here in Winnipeg, keeping those highs between 12 to 21 over the next 5-10 days. So again, keeping things very pleasant across the prairie, even if we are returning back to a little bit cooler than we should be this time of year. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you again on Friday morning.